Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss electric field and charges part 4. That is electric field related concept we will discuss in part 4. What is electric field and what is electric field intensity and what is the electric field intensity due to point charge and how we can write the electric field for system of charges and how we can write the electric field in Cartesian coordinates. These all concepts we'll discuss in our today part. Now, let us start with our part 4. Electrostatics part 4. These are the concepts. What is electric field intensity or electric field strength? The electric field intensity due to a point charge and superposition principle. Now, we'll start with our electric field. What is electric field? So, electric field is a region of space around a charge or a system of charges within which other charged particles experiences electrostatic force. Now let us try to analyze this statement. What is the electric field? They mention it is an electric field is a region of space around a charge. It is a region means like this some place. It is a region of space around a charge or a system of charges around a charge. Let us take here one charge Q or system of charges within which other charged particle experiences the force. Other charged particle, let us take here, these other charged particle will experiences a force. That force of electrostatic forces means we have the region of space around a charge or a system of charges within which other charged particle experiences the electrostatic force. For this, let us visualize or analyze two charges here. We have plus q and small plus q. Let us assume this plus q is our source charge. This is our source charge. What is source charge? Source charge is a real charge. It is a real charge and whose magnitude is always greater than the test charge. Let us assume this is our test charge. Test charge is used to find the electric field. This is our test charge and test charge is always we'll consider unit positive charge. Unit positive charge. Now if you see this is positive and this is positive, definitely we have the repulsion force. Force of repulsion will be there. And if you take one is positive and another one is negative, we'll get the force of attraction. Always remember, always our test charge will be positive charge and source charge may be positive or negative. Okay, now these two are the positive charges. It exerts the electrostatic force of repulsion. So this is the space where we'll get the electrostatic forces and this space of region we called electric field. Electric field. Clear? Our simple words, let see here our source charge plus q and here we have test charge plus q, that is small plus q, separated by some distance. This is a finite distance. Finite distance. Definitely there will be a force of repulsion. Force of repulsion. Up to which? Up to some finite distance. So this region is there. In this region, we call the electric field. electric field. In this region of space, we called electric field. Now, see here, this is the region of space where we can get the electric field. Now, if you place our test charge somewhere here, plus Q, and source charge is here, this is infinite distance. Let us assume it is infinite distance. So, infinite distance, we won't get the electric field. Infinite distance, we won't get the electric field. So that here, now if you see, this is the region. In this region, we won't get any electric field. Okay. So electric field means what? It is a space around a charge or a system of charges within which other charged particles experiences electrostatic forces. When it will be experiencing the electrostatic force, if it is finite distance between two charges, positive or negative. Okay, this is the our definition of electric field. Now, we'll see one important point. Theoretically, the electric field extends up to infinity. It is, but theoretically, up to infinity, but practically it is limited to certain distance. Electric field will get for certain distance, that is finite distance in practically, but theoretically electric field extends up to infinity. Okay, this point also you have to remember. Next, what is meant by electric field strength or electric field intensity or electric field E? Okay, so this all are the same one. Electric field strength or electric field intensity or electric field. This all together we can call electric field. These are the different names. Okay. Now, this is the another definition of our electric field or electric field strength or electric field intensity. Now see, electric field strength at a point in an electric field is the electrostatic force per unit positive charge acting on a vanishingly small positive test charge placed at that point. Just now we discussed our source charge is plus Q and the test charge is small q, and this is a unit positive charge. This is our unit positive charge acting on a vanishingly small positive test charge placed at that point. So we know when these two charges, that is our source charge and the test charge, are separated by some distance, definitely we have the electrostatic force of repulsion. That electrostatic force of repulsion per unit positive charge, that is Q naught, that we call electric field or electric field strength. Now we'll see mathematical form of our electric field strength. See here we have two charges. One is source charge and this is our test charge, unit positive charge. And when these two charges are separated by finite distance, definitely we have the force, that is the force of repulsion. If you stand here and see this charge positive and positive, so this is our direction. And if our source charge is negative, here we are taking our source charge is positive. If our source charge is negative and test charge is always positive, then what will get? Here we have to stand here and see the opposite charge. It is negative, so attractive. So our force direction is towards this direction. And here we see here where plus Q is source charge, Q naught is test charge, and F is the force, and E is the electric field. Now this we can written in mathematically. E bar is equal to electric field. It is a vector quantity. That's why you write E bar is equal to limit delta Q tends to 0. The charge tends to 0 because it is vanishingly unit positive charge. That is our assumption for test charge. F bar by delta Q. Or E bar is equal to F bar by Q naught. So most generally we are using this relation. Simply we can say the electric field strength definition is force per unit charge. This force acting on these two charges, plus Q and plus Q naught. So force acting on the two charges per unit charge, per unit test charge. So that is the simple definition of our electric field or electric field strength. And we know the force. How to write force? From Coulomb's law. If two charges are separated by the distance, force we can written as that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. If it is in vacuum. And what is Q1? Here our Q1 is plus Q, and here our Q2 is plus Q. If you take this case, okay, first case, then our force is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught plus Q into plus Q naught by R square. This is the force between the two source charge and a test charge. Now we want to find the electric field. That electric field is equal to force per unit test charge. That is unit positive test charge. Then force we got 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1, that is nothing but only small q, and Q, that is Q naught by R square, and already it is denominator we have Q naught. Then Q naught get cancelled. Then our electric field vector E bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square. And if we want to represent in direction R cap. So this is our electric field or electric field strength. Okay, so here we got that equation. E bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R square to R cap. Clear? Now here see one point. The test charge is considered to be vanishingly small. So always remember our test charge is considerably vanishingly small because its presence should not alter the configuration of the charges. And thus the electric field which is intended to be measured. In order to measure our electric field accurately and accurately without any errors, always remember our test charge is considerably vanishingly small value we have to take. Okay, so that point is important. Next. Next, see here, note in note points. Note point, first point. First point, since Q naught is taken positive, the direction of electric field is along the direction of electrostatic force. Remember, since if you take Q naught is positive, this Q naught is positive, the direction of electric field is along the direction of electrostatic force. So if this Q naught is positive, if you take, what will get? The force direction, repulsive force and the electric force also in the same direction. Okay, and see next second point. The electrostatic force on negative charged particle will be opposite to the direction of electric field. If it is plus Q naught, if you take this is negative, in the place of plus if you take negative, what will get the force of attraction and electric field will be in this direction. So 2 will be opposite direction. Next, electric field is a vector quantity. It have both magnitude and direction, and whose magnitude and directions are uniquely determined at every point in a field. Okay, that's why electric field is a vector quantity. Then, what is the SI unit of electric field? It is Newton per Coulomb. Electric field SI unit is Newton per Coulomb. How? If you see electric field E is equal to force per unit positive test charge. Force is, we know, Newton, Q naught is Coulomb. This also we can written as Newton Coulomb inverse. And it is a vector quantity. Clear? These points are very, very important. In 1 marks CBSE board exams, you will get the question. What is the electric field units and whether electric field is a vector quantity or scalar quantity. Okay. Next we'll find the force exerted on Q by Q naught. Next we'll see what we are going to find here. The electric field due to point charge. Electric field due to point charge. Now we are taking one point charge and try to find the electric field. Okay, electric field due to the point charge. Now see here we are taking 1 point charge. In order to find electric field, we'll take test charge. Here we are taking in 3-dimensional X, Y, and Z. Now let us see how we'll get this equation, this diagram. So this is our coordinates X, Y, and Z. Here plus Q naught, we placed our source charge. Here plus Q naught small, plus Q naught. Here we placed our test charge always positive. And this is our force of repulsion. Okay, this is our force of repulsion. And this P is the point. Okay, which point this is? Plus Q naught test charge point. Or if you want to write the position of the test charge, R bar is equal to Xi cap plus Yj cap plus Zk cap. And its magnitude we can written as R is equal to R under root of X square plus Y square plus Z square. Remember, these two are important while we deal with the Cartesian form or Cartesian coordinates. Okay. Here we want to find the electric field due to the point charge. And we know the electric field due to this point charge. And here our test charge, definitely there will be a force, that is the force of repulsion. That force of repulsion, this force exerted on plus Q by Q naught is equal to F bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught by R square into R cap. In R cap is the unit vector. Now R we can written as F bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught by R cube in vector form. So R cap we can written as R bar by its magnitude. Okay, so that we written as here R bar by its magnitude. Means here our force F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught by R square. R cap is R bar by R. R bar by R. Because this mod R also we can written as R. Then force is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q naught by R cube. Okay, that's why here we got in R cube form. Similarly, electric field strength. Electric field strength is what? We know the force per unit test charge. Force by Q naught. Force we know Q naught by R square. Okay, if you take in r cap direction, if you take in vector form, r cube you will get 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r cube r bar. And here what happened? This q naught and q naught will be cancelled. See, E is equal to force by q naught. Force is this one. If you take in vector form, force is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught by r cube into r bar, and downside here we have q naught. So q naught. Then this q naught and q naught get cancelled. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. Then electric field E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r cube into r bar. So this is our form. If we want to write in unit vector form, r cap direction, downside will get r square. That we have to remember. In vector form, we'll get r cube. Okay, that is electric field. So if you want to write in position vector in Cartesian form, we can use in the place of r, we can use xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap, r mod r, which is equal to r is equal to under root of x square plus y square plus z square. Clear? Now we'll see for point charge how we'll get the graph of electric field and the distance r. Now we'll see electric field and distance r. Will take the graph. This is x-axis, and y-axis will take the electric field. So this is our graph, E versus r square. Like this, we'll get the graph. And here, remember one point, that is the electric field due to a point charge has a spherical symmetry. Okay, it is spherical symmetry. And if Q is greater than 0, then the electric field is radially outwards. Remember, if Q is greater than 0, the electric field is radially outwards. That is nothing but if you take the point charge is plus. If point charge is positive, the direction will be radially outward. Like this we'll get. This is the radially outward. That is if Q is greater than 0. And if you say Q less than 0, that is nothing but negative. That is radially inward. So that is the meaning. That's why electric field and force direction also changes in negative charge. And electric field and force direction here same, here opposite you will get. Okay, that we discussed previously. Okay, now we'll see the electric field in Cartesian coordinates. Okay, electric field in Cartesian coordinates E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by x square plus y square plus z square whole to the power of 3 by 2 xi cap plus yj cap plus z cap. How we got this one? Previously we discussed E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r cube and r bar. We discussed r bar is the position vector. R bar we can written as xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap and r cube. So we know the magnitude of r, which is nothing but r, is equal to under root of x square plus y square plus z square. And if it is a square, r square is equal to x square plus y square plus z square. Then r into r square. This is nothing but under root of x square plus y square plus z square into x square plus y square plus z square. Okay, this also we can written as whole to the power of 1 by 2. This one we can written as whole to the power of 1 by 2 x square plus y square plus z square whole to the power of 1 by 2. Whole to the power of 1 by 2 plus 1. What will get? X square plus y square plus z square whole to the power of 3 by 2. So that is the r cube. That's why in the place of r cube, we substituted x square plus y square plus z square whole to the power of 3 by 2. In electric field E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by x square plus y square plus z square whole to the power of 3 by 2. and R bar is the xi cap plus yj cap plus zk cap. Okay, so this is the form. Here I wrote directly. Electric field in terms of coordinate system. Okay, this is also important while solving the numericals, this relation. Okay, noted this one. Okay, next. Next, we will see our superposition principle. What is superposition principle? So superposition principle is the electrostatic force experienced by a charge due to other charge is the vector sum of electrostatic forces due to these other charges as if they are existing individually. Okay, the electrostatic force experienced by the charge due to other. So here we are taking Q1, Q2, Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 and Q5. Here we are taking 5 charges. How these charges will experience. Now we'll see. So this is the vector sum. If you see here, this is plus Q1. So we will try to find the force on this point only. So if we stand here and see this charge, what we'll get? This is positive and this is positive. So we'll get repulsive force. This is F14. Then similarly here, if you see, so here plus Q1, you stand here and see this charge Q4, what will get? Repulsive force. So this is the repulsive force. This is force on charge 1 due to charge 4. That's why F14. Now similarly, if you take Q1 charge to Q2, what will get? Same repulsive force from here to here. If you see, you are standing here and see the opposite charge will be repulsive force. This is force on charge 1 due to charge 2. Then similarly, if you see Q3, because here positive and here negative, so attractive force. This is the direction. Next here negative, this is also attractive force. This is the direction. Now we know force of two charges. That is, if you take Q1 and Q2, these two charges, let us take Q1 and Q2, then our force is F12. Okay, how to write? Force F12, force on charge 1 due to 2 is equal to, from Coulomb's law, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught charge Q1 charge Q2 by R square. So that is the general form we are using. R the position, this is in terms of position. If you write, this is R12. Okay, R, this we can write in another words, that is R1 minus R2. Okay, that we wrote here. Now we'll see. Now this is the force of F12. Similarly, we can write force in terms of F14, F13, F12, and F15. Then this all sum together is nothing but the superposition principle. Okay, or this also we can call the electric force of system of charges. Okay, so now understand the definition. The electrostatic force experienced by a charge due to other charges is the vector sum of the electrostatic forces due to these charges as if they are existing individually. They are existing individually, the sum of all these vectors. Okay, that's why here F14, F13, and F12 and F15. Okay, then the resultant force F1 bar is equal to F12 bar plus F13 bar plus F14 bar plus F15 bar. This we can written is in more precisely form. Then F of A is a function of distance. R of A bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught summation B is equal to 1 and A is not equal to B to N QA QB RA minus RB by RA minus RB whole bar all to the power of 3, because this here we are using in vector form, that is electric field is equal to electric field formula 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R cube into R bar in vector form. Similarly force formula 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R cube to R bar. Okay, here our R bar is the position vector. Here it is the two charges, so that is change of position RA minus RB. Okay, now See here, RA minus RB, and it's a magnitude. RA minus RB whole cube. So if in this present example, if you take A is equal to 1 and B is equal to 2 to 3, means B is equal to, first you will take 2, next to 3, next to 4, next to 5, but A is equal to 1. Why? We are finding the force on this particular point, that is plus Q1. Okay. And in another example, if you say, if you want to find the force and second charge, if you want to find the force and second charge here, now here it will be changed. Our A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 1 and B is equal to 3 and B is equal to 4 and B is equal to 5. Okay, where we are finding, that is important, that is constant. If you want to find here, so from this one point we'll get the all forces. That is, if you want to find plus Q1 to Q2, similarly Q1 to Q3, Q1 to Q4, Q1 to Q5. Okay, this is the summation over all. See, if you want to write F12 in this equation, how to write? Just in the place of A is equal to 1, in the place of B is equal to 2, we'll get our required equation. What we'll get? That is force of 1 and R of 1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, that is constant. Summation over, that is Q1 A and QB is Q2, and position R1 minus R2 by R1 minus R2 whole cube. Okay, same, that is position of here R1 and R2. Next R1 and R3. Okay, that position. Clear? This is important. They may ask for 2 marks. Okay, what is the superposition principle, or how you'll write the system of charges to find the electric field, or system of charges, take the system of charges and write the equation for the forces. Okay, like that we'll get in exam. Next, so this is the force. Okay, this we are representing in vector form, F12 and F13 and F14 and F15. This one is our resultant. Okay, so with that we'll conclude our part 4 session. Thank you for watching. We'll see in next class. Next we'll discuss in part 5 what is electric field lines and its properties. In detail we'll discuss. Okay, thank you.